Alright, so start of another Bothy adventure. Actually only went to Moles Prisgow last week. So this time, got all the bits and bobs in the back of the car. Getting pretty good at packing everything, so that's my bag. I weighed it and it feels a lot lighter than the bag from last week, but it's still 28 kilos. So that might be why my feet hurt for quite a bit after the 10-mile hike there and back. Got Emily's bag, and then Arthur's is behind. Got the tent the other side of there just in case we need it. We bought, we're going for 2 nights this time. Going for 2 nights this time. So bought quite a bit more food, and then we've just got a bit of a drive to get into Snowdonia, and then we'll start what it looks like quite a simple walk. So we'll catch up then. So we've arrived. I don't know if you can see behind me is a river with the most amazing. Flick the camera around. It's a river with the most amazing, beautiful, clear water I've ever seen in my life. This is absolutely incredible. So we found a spot to park, and then our route. I mean, we're also surrounded by a lot. Some of it looks like plantation, but we look like there's some natural trees here, which is pretty good to see. So we're going to be walking up this road, and just over the brow is the footpath that we're going to go on. The thing I like about all these walks is the map only tells you so much, and it's quite a short walk, but it looks like it's going to be a steep one, so it should be interesting. All right, we're off. Got my pack on. My 2 trusty hiking companions for this one, and getting going up the steep hill. We're about not quite halfway up. We've got to go up about 100 feet, which is not that much in the scheme of things, but we're not mountain climbers ultimately, so that's a view down. You already can't see the car, which is somewhere down over there. It's pretty steep. So we've just come up about 100 feet, although it felt a lot more, with 28 kilos on my back. And the thing I love about Bothies is you start to see something on the horizon, and we could see smoke wisping up out of a chimney behind me. There it is. And then all the mod cons is there's even a toilet in the woods. That's all good. I mean, this place is just absolutely stunning. Imagine it being your cottage. I suppose, I don't know if it would be, the forest is maybe potentially quite new. Don't know if it was a shepherd's cottage, but we'll try and find out a bit of history. But it's absolutely beautiful. I've already had a quick recce inside, so let's go and have a look. Yeah, so let's have a wander inside.
What's the tap in here?
Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see anything with the camera. There's no connected running water though. Now this is because it was somebody's house once. But this is one of the darker Bothies, so we're definitely going to need the candles. So this is the main lounge. I mean, it's an absolutely stunning old table in here.
There's a fire upstairs, but it's boarded up.
It is boarded up, that's it. I mean, this massive fireplace with the wood burner there is going to keep us warm. And then there's sort of outbuildings there. There's Emily. Why don't, mister? Let's go and have a look up the steps. Super steep.
Not that steep.
Oh, it's steeper than home, isn't it? So we got the room we're going to stay in, just here. So you got the raised platform just here, which is always better to sleep there because you do get mice in Bothies.
Why is it wet?
Why is it wet? Maybe condensation, and these are old buildings, mister. You can see out into the woods there, and then there's this other room where, there would have once been an open fire, but that's boarded up probably for safety. I don't know if you can't really see it, but this building's absolutely stunning. Real stone walls, wood beams, no insulation, just how it should be. Although there is render plaster on the inside, which is pretty cool. And the view is pretty awesome, really. I don't know if you can just about see me, but Yeah, so just met two guys that are travelling back to Cardiff. They were staying here last night with a group of 8 lads that came down from Manchester. So it's pretty cool. We'll see who we bump into or we don't. We've been pretty lucky so far that we've bumped into people that have been really amazing.
I'm really happy that there's an upstairs. I've never.
No, this is the first Bothy with an upstairs. This is a big one. So anyway, we're going to go for an adventure, and then we'll tell you a bit more of our tales. Oh, just back downstairs having a sort out bits and bobs. This is the one thing I love about Bothies: the view and the peace. Now, granted, I haven't got a long view, but it's different to where I live. That's what I love. It's sort of forcing myself to go into situations I wouldn't normally go into, meet people I wouldn't normally meet. Try and do my bit to connect with the world around me, because at one point humans lived as part of nature rather than separated from it. So yeah, we're going to get everything unpacked and make a coffee. All right, so we're unpacked, and the important bit, as always, is get the Trangia stove on, and then get coffee on. That's all good. We're just having a look at the Bothy book, see who else has been here, and then we're going to go and have a look outside and try and find where we can get some water, which is supposedly behind us. So yeah, a bit of adventuring next. So we just come for a wander out in the woods, just come down from the Bothy a little bit, and just really impressed how clear the water is. There's loads of water sources all around here. See one just down there. There is a lot of this is plantation, but it seems like they're trying to make it fairly natural, although I don't really know, so I'd have to do a bit of research. But it's a very pretty place, infinitely peaceful. Always loved the sound of running water, and just going for a bit of a circular walk, see what's around us. Now, one thing that's always a good sign of air quality is what looks like green hair. It's like green hair growing off trees, just sort of there. So that's the lichen growing away. And now my inexperienced knowledge, I think, is that lichen grows like that when there's good fresh air. I mean, I often see it when I go to the Highlands in Scotland, but it's nice to see it here. And we're definitely pretty high up. We're not surrounded by a lot of buildings or civilization, so yeah, I think we're probably pretty much as pure as you're going to get for water quality and air quality. Just crossing over another stream, which is always interesting looking on OS maps. You get a thin blue line, it could be anything like this, to anything that's a raging torrent but not quite big enough to be shown as a river, like the one we crossed last week. It was pretty interesting. But anyway, I'm going to get back to my walk. Okay, so we're wandering through the woods. We just spotted this amazing fungi. I hope you can see that. It's just absolutely incredible. And what I learnt this week in my soil advocate training course with Kiss the Ground is that what you see above the ground is the reproductive organs of the fungus, and underneath a single footstep there can be hundreds of kilometres of the fungal network which connects together plants and trees and distributes nutrients and water and allows trees to actually communicate with each other. So it's all pretty amazing. From that fungi actually is the next cool thing. Just there, that mound, I'm pretty sure is an ant's nest, which is pretty cool. It's massive. You can see some of the holes just about here going in. That's so cool. It's really big. I'm pretty sure ants always build on the south or the north side because it's more protected. I can't remember what. You can see they're sort of built in next to this tree stump, which is pretty cool. And then that's the track we just walked up. That's the one we just walked down. Yeah, it's really cool. All of life around us getting on, existing and working together in many cases. Right then, so this is the next job on the list. We basically foraged a piece of wood, which we're not cutting anything down. We're just taking wood that's already on the floor. And we've got this bow saw. Arthur's got the axe, which is what every 7-year-old should have hold of. We're just trimming the edge off. That's it, very safe. Then we're going to chop it up into logs. And it is very, very strong, yeah.
Long off and hit the roof.
Oh, no. So, yeah, just simple skills and enjoying being in a forest. So we got a bit of a wet day outside. Can't really see through the window. But had an all right night's sleep, actually. Better than last. Yeah, get to that in a second. So just getting used to the mattresses and stuff like that.
And then, the most special occasion is it's Daddy's birthday.
Can't really see us.
No.
So we got most important thing first was coffee, which we've had coffee, yeah. And then that was Bunny. Bunny's always the biggest adventurer. Please. And yeah, we got Kipper breakfast, and then my coat is actually really wet, which I've discovered it's not waterproof, so I've got that in front of the stove. A little kitchen set up, and sort of right at home. Bye bye, says Bunny.
It's hugging it.
All right, so off on a bit of a trip. You can see the Bothy behind me, just in the background there. Just heading up the hill. We're going to go across the valley, go and see some waterfalls. It's pretty cool, and we're going to have to try and find the water source, which is just up this hill. Which is another one of the really cool things I like about going bothying and getting off grid, is that you can't just pop to the kitchen or the bathroom, turn the tap on and fill up your glass and have a drink. You've got to actually find water. So yesterday we got water from the stream, which was pretty cool. Luckily I've got that lifesaver bottle, so we can filter it and it gets rid of all bacteria and, well, not all, but almost 100% bacteria and viruses and all that sort of stuff. But there is supposedly a water source just a bit closer than going to the stream, so we're going to try and find that on the way. So this is the path we're heading up at the moment, and that's where we've come from. Bothy is just below that little ridge just there. So it's a lovely woods. It's a pretty place, but yeah, still part of it is a plantation, so not that much life here. But there are some areas where it's nice mixed woods. We walked into yesterday with some oak and other trees. So yeah, we're gonna bit of a trek, and then hopefully we'll be at some waterfalls soon. There's always a beauty in going out into nature, but there's always often a reminder that too much of the human race has been about extraction and taking from nature with no thought of replenishment. And unfortunately we've got to remind ourselves that we are in the middle of what many people consider a plantation. And all this is the sort of stuff that needs to get sorted out with climate change. We need to take an approach of regeneration and improvement rather than the mechanical mind and extracting and taking from nature. But from there, we're going to carry on the path through the woods on the way to the waterfalls. We're coming across a really nice bit of the footpath here. Nice next to like a trickling stream. It's like typical beer colour because of a peaty soil. And we've got to try and get across it. Luckily we've got wellies weather. It's actually quite hard underneath, and we've met some people that said around here is actually where you can find gold, and that we've seen an actual disused gold mine on the map. So we might have a quick look and see if we can make our fortune. We don't have our panning gear with us at the moment. Otherwise, anyway, it's a really pretty bit of the forest. We've come to a bit of the path where it's just so beautiful. You've got the stream rushing down over there. I thought it was peaty coloured water, but it's not. It looks and it smells like it's got iron in the water. The stream's rushing down, sort of mini waterfalls all the way down. There we go. We've got quite a steep descent, which is going to be interesting coming back up, but it's so nice here. It seems a lot more natural. Even rhododendrons and oaks and beech trees, and it's really very nice. So we're gonna keep going. So come down a bit farther again, and the stream's really opened up. You can see it coming all the way down from the top, and there's mini waterfalls over all the rocks. But then where all the trees have sort of naturally fallen in, they've created mini dams and more waterfalls and sort of little splits in the stream going all the way down. It's so pretty. I just love the sound. So we come a bit farther down, and all of a sudden the trees have broken the canopy, and we've got that view in front of us. That is absolutely stunning. I'm going to need to find out what mountain that is, and it looks like if it's been a rainy season, there's a few really good places for waterfalls. So we are sort of heading that way. We're going to go down to the bottom here, across the river, and then not here, but probably somewhere up here is where the river's coming down that mountain. And on the OS map there's loads of waterfalls. It looks amazing, so that'll be our next stop. So we managed to find a little shortcut across the stream. There's this amazing bridge and there's beautiful waterfalls. We're going to keep heading around, getting to the footbridge. It's going to take us across the main river. So we just crossed the road, just crossed the river, and the first bit's fairly impressive. It must really come to life when it's rained or in snowfall, or well, when snow's melting. And this is just the start. A bit farther to walk up this path, and we'll see some bigger waterfalls. We just found a spot underneath some oaks, just at the start of the Black Waterfalls, for our lunch, which is a pretty cool place to picnic. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but where the sun's coming down, it's really illuminating the spray that's coming up from the waterfall. It's a really cool spot, and we've basically got out all you need, all the food groups, all the nutrition right there. So we're at the first bridge. I've missed out loads of what we've just seen. It's just stunning, but I didn't want to have a camera in front of my face. And we're really getting to the proper waterfall parts of the river. If you just look a bit higher, you can see through the trees an even bigger waterfall. It's just so impressive how steep the side of this mountain is. There's waterfalls all the way down. I've just come up from that bridge to follow the river up, and this is what we've got. It is very, very, very impressive. Absolutely beautiful. We're just making our way up here, but it is proper steep. We're scrambling up with hands and feet. Scrambled up the top, which is so steep you can't even see down. And this is where we are. Whoa.
Start walking back after.
Well, that's where we're going to leave it. We're going to start heading back now. Got a bit of a steep climb down and a steep climb back up to the Bothy. I'd say it's been a really good day out. Right, so having a nice, decent walk back. We're coming back a slightly different way. So we've just come up from down there. Up from down there, does that make sense? We're sort of crossing across this really nice path. It looks like it'd be a lovely track on a mountain bike. The bit we're going on is up there, which you can't really see on a video, but it's pretty steep. So onwards and upwards. So we're making our way up. That there was proper steep. You're sort of clambering up over roots, and luckily we've got the trees helping us, using their roots as steps. This is definitely a leg burner. But soon we should come to the track where we go across to a lookout point. So we've taken a bit of a detour on the way back and come out to a lookout point. Now, we were right down in the valley and down by the river, and now we're up here. So we really climbed up the side of this mountain. Well, maybe a hill. I think probably what I'm looking at is a mountain. This is certainly a steep hill. That's super impressive. So I thought the part back there actually was the lookout, but here we've got something even more impressive. Wow, an amazing view. Gorgeous wooden bench. That is pretty stunning. So the last part of the track was pretty cool, coming through the woods, believing the OS map, and there a vision on the, not on the horizon, but in the little gully is the Bothy. Alright, so last job of the day, getting a bit cooler, so we got the dinner stuff out, got a fire on, that's going nicely, because it's starting to get cold now. Got some other logs just up here, you can't see because it's pitch black, just warming a little bit because they are fairly fresh. And then we've got the trangia, basically all fully stacked. So we got risotto in the top with peas, beef stock, and some sea salt. So that's already cooked, but we're just keeping it warm. And then in the bottom, we've got some roasties that I did before we came with squash and carrots. And I'm doing that with chopped tomatoes. That should be a decent dinner. And then what we did earlier on, which I couldn't film because my hands were wet, I went and had a wash in the stream, which was pretty good fun and refreshing. So we're all washed and fresh, ready for dinner. And then that'll be it. So we've had a nice full day here yesterday, one more night, and then we're going to get up early and head back tomorrow.